Pengu. These two teams have had a tumultuous year, both WYLDE and Gen.G, not classified in the top teams. Gen.G had a surprisingly deep run in Stage 1 of playoffs, but WYLDE recently promoted into the league. A lot of hope on their shoulders, but not a lot of expectation. That's starting to flip because of how good they've been doing. That said, they are still outside of playoffs contention right now. They've just been jumped by Team Secret. If they want to jump back in, they've got to win this today.
Oh, I like this actually. But double SAS brand, the mute and the smoke. Now that's a rare one that we see. I love the Grim ban. It's very proactive because mute ban goes out first. And they go, okay, if there's gonna be no mute, we really don't want to deal with the Grim red spotting all across the bomb side. So we're gonna counter ban that proactively. Really nice stuff. Now, mute is an operator that you can probably play on like 99% of bomb sites, and it's never a troll pick. It's always great, it's always good, high value, etc. Yet it rarely gets banned out. So I love that we're starting to see that trend kind of pick up. Smoke, we've actually seen a surprising high amount of operator bans targeted towards him specifically. And the theory is always this: every team can play smoke. They know it. They love it. It's not every team, not many teams for that matter, likes to play Tashanka. And the only substitute to a smoke ban, realistically, is going to be Tashanka. So you're kind of throwing a curveball, putting the enemy on a little bit more uneven ground if they're not super comfortable with it. And it's funny because we have seen teams miss some Tashanka lineups in recent history, James.
Well, we were talking about that off-air earlier today, weren't we, Pengu? You clipped it. Which team was it that you threw under the bus on your stream, showing that they did not know how to deny the default plan on Consulate? And then you went to a custom game and did it on the first try?
It was the good old BDS Matchco 7-0 last play there on Consulate, where Matchco just, I don't know, there's a CEO defense, one of the most common Tashanka bomb sites, and they just don't know how to do the lineup that hits a CEO default plant. And BDS hit plant in front of them, despite them having Tashanka. Complete blunder.
Yeah, it's such a different way of using the operator, even though the outcome is still area denial. Tachenko works very differently to smoke. The area of effect is much smaller, so you have to really get it right. Let's see if Azox can do it this time. Of course, Azox, we mentioned this off-air in our prep earlier, Nick, but he's actually the third highest rated player in the EML at the moment. He is absolutely gaming these days.
Yeah. Bit of a... I was gonna say he kind of flew under the radar, but there was that skyscraper game where he was like entry frag in 3K every single round. That was a bit of a defining moment for him in the stage, in the stat department. I love this dynamic play though. Evan on Monty upstairs, Bog down below, kind of working in tangent with the information, yellow pings plus vertical destruction. A little bit off the mark though, Shagda's to his right. Oh, that's an injury. That's a beautiful spray through the floor actually. And Azog should not really be revivable. If flank comes through though, yellow ping was there for Garen, but Skies wins the gunfight.
Oh, and with Astro finding that Nitro cell pick, just maybe there is a revive on the cards here. Deadshot goes on in and saving the Tachanka, saving Private Lord Tachanka. What a valuable outcome there for Gen.G. The most important operator has survived, and Asta's going absolutely nuclear. Nothing to be said. It's a massive collapse from Gen.G. After seemingly losing the opening engagement, they fought back tooth and nail to win the round flawlessly.
It's really impressive to me how Gen.G, they're trying so hard to help each other, but not like in a desperate way, like, oh, I'm gonna go save you, I don't care about what happens to me. It's very much like, okay, I see my teammate is under pressure. What can I do without risking myself to increase my teammate's chance of succeeding? And it's, you know, the flank downstairs, the second star gets injured, Skies covers his teammate, then Acid starts swinging as well, the C4 comes out, everyone is helping each other in such a good way. And while they're doing something really fantastic themselves, they had Bug below, they had a flank drone, they had Timon above. But everything just changed so quickly off two small plays from Gen.G.
Get a good look at them. Reloading, cover me.
Yeah, I feel what?
Now the question is, can Gen.G keep up this aggression? Because it's not a consistent way, I would say, of playing Rainbow Six Siege. So when it works, it's phenomenal. But of course, you always look back at like the basics. Do you have the basics to play a stable round of the Siege all the time? And Gen.G, they're very... Oh, we're moonwalking there. As I see that. I see the moonwalk. That is not a good look. Rehost called for as I cried. Yeah, he did. He crashed. I think you crashed as well, yeah.
It was awkward time.
That's all right. We're just gonna take pause. That's okay. You're not audible, but I am, so I'll just talk to myself during this very exciting tech pause. Of course, when this happens, it sucks for everybody, the spectators, both teams, but we're gonna be very quickly back. It's gonna be a little reboot of the server, get Asa back in there. Have you had a reboot as well, James?
Not sure if I'm audible, but we'll get confirmation pretty soon.
Pretty soon.
For production.
Very nice.
If you had to summarize that round in one sentence, how would you explain it, Pengy?
Moonwalking.
No, the round that actually played out.
Oh, you said the round. I was like, that's not it. Oh, okay. Okay, in one word, I would either do teamwork or I would do covering. Because they were covering each other with teamwork. That's like the simplified version. Yeah.
I said one sentence, but one word.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie to you. I heard one word. It was like the analyst desk segment earlier where Milos was like, finish my sentence. And Leo was fishing for one word finishes, not like finishing the entire sentence.
Yeah.
But it was kind of a funny.
That's alright. I mean, English isn't your first language. It's not Leo's first
language. It's like
language,
no one's first language besides Fresh, and I guess yours too, though. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I keep asking myself, what is Fresh's excuse?
Well, he is from Hull, you know, like
that's true. He's a northerner.
He's a northerner. Yeah.
Why is it that almost all of our British Rainbow Six talent are from the north? By the way,
you say all, but isn't it technically just Ian and Fresh, Jack?
Oh, we've also got Ollie.
Oh, is he northern as well?
Yeah. He's from very close to Ace as well. Ace. So Tim, Ollie, X-Troika. Jack, Fresh, and then.
So does Manchester count as the north? I actually don't know exactly where it is. Oh
yeah, Manchester.
Yeah? It's far north.
Manchester's north.
Map.
And then I think
UK.
I think Derry would count as like Midlands. I'm not sure. Look, I'm not Australian. I don't know about our colonial homeland. But yeah, I think that doesn't quite count as north, even though it's not crazy far. And then of course Emmy from I think she's a Londoner. She's a Southerner.
Manchester isn't like that far north. It's almost like central. It's like a little bit above central.
Surely we've got some Mancunians in the chat that can confirm or deny this. I'm pretty sure that people would consider Manchester northern.
Okay, I think consideration is one aspect, but geographically speaking, it's only like 20% above the middle.
I think people classify as like being from the north in the UK. It's kind of like a way of life. You know,
yeah,
you
I mean,
have to just.
I get that. Like in Denmark, we have different islands. So.
The accent, right on.
Yeah, I guess it's an accent change, whatever else. I remember when I lived in Reading for a year with Shaz back in my playing days. I was asking Shaz like, where are we gonna live? Like, cause I know nothing about UK back then, right? And he said, Nick, there is this line on the map, and he like showed me. If you live above it, you're a loser. If you live below it, you're great. And I was like, okay, great. So we're gonna live below the line, I guess. But why? And basically, it was like. Not much further north than London. He was like, we need to live below this area. I was like, okay. So we moved to Reading. It's like an hour, I want to say southwest of London, but I couldn't tell you exactly. But we went to Reading for a full year, and we lived there together, just like that.
Yeah. What'd you think of living in the UK?
I won't lie to you. Back then in my playing days, it was like 16, 18 hours of gaming. So I just lived in a room with 4 walls. Like it didn't matter where I was in the world. It was all the same to me. We had a sushi shop that was open till midnight, and they had half off after 10 p.m. So I pretty much just ate dinner there like all the time because it was half off sushi, you know?
You know why it's half off? Is because it's the sushi that they made that morning that they can't sell tomorrow. So they're just literally feeding you old sushi because they can't sell it if they don't.
It's not old, it's end of day. That means it's still fresh, but it won't be in a few hours. You know, it's like... Because think about it, the fish also sleep at night. So when they wake up and they get hunted, then it's fresh meat. And if the meat doesn't get to sleep, then it's still fresh. So it's still fresh fish. That's the logic that that's the logic that I apply.
That is crazy. That is wild. I was at speaking of who from our broadcast team is from the north. I had a reminder by our lovely observer Stefan Easy that Demo is northern in a way, being from Northern Ireland.
Okay.
I don't know whether that counts as the same conversation. Technically, still part of the UK. Now we have talked way too much about the UK, which is a place that neither you nor me are from. And neither of these teams... Oh, some of the WYLDE players are from the UK, right? I think WYLDE is the one team that is such a big mixture of players. I think most of the teams in this league have at least 2 players from the same nationality, but I'm looking at the WYLDE roster right now. So we've got Boomsies from the UK, Evans from Ireland, Garen's from Slovakia, Matt's from Brazil, and Sneak from Spain. That is a very multicultural roster.
Interesting. I'm trying to think if I can add any valuable points to that conversation, but I can't. That's
I'm literally just trying to somehow bring our conversation back to the game because
But the game hasn't started yet. So why would you do that?
Well, we had one round, didn't we, Nicholas?
We did have one round, but that round is over. It's in the past. In the past, it's none of our concern. Oh, do you know what that quote
Well, how
from?
about a second round?
Ah, okay, whatever.
What is that quote from? Is that I don't know. That sounds like something dirty.
I'm sure it originates from somewhere else, but it got popularized in the famous show Peaky Blinders, which is also based in the UK.
Oh, I do love that show. That's based in Birmingham, actually.
So
that's where Des is from.
So Thomas Shelby goes,
Full circle.
she's in the past, and the past is none of my concern. And it's like Aura 1000.
Oh. I'll tell you what, when it was your final season of being a player and my first season casting Europe was 2020, in the middle of lockdown in Australia. I was in a very, like in Melbourne, we were locked down for a very long time and I was working night shifts and I couldn't go out and I would be like awake all night every day and every day sleeping. And the way I passed the time during lockdown was watching all of Peaky Blinders.
Oh, that's a good one.
That was literally all I did with my life was cast Rainbow Six Siege at night and watch Peaky Blinders.
I would say take me back to lockdown days, but I really don't want to go back to that ever again, so let's not do that.
Please not.
No. We're in the game though. We see trying to shoot a Finra mine, getting hit by an Ela mine, as it takes down Garen inside a garage, and this round is off to a very quick pace.
Yeah, that it is. 40 seconds is all it takes to find the first kill, and another 10 to find the second. It's engagements back and forth. And Astra is hungry for more with this ITA, but sees that Monty has extended the shield. About to find another fight here, but Boomsy will knock him down. Looking for another one, but doesn't find it. All up to Evan now. And a quick double shot with Deadshot. With the SMG, locks in another round for Gen.G on the defense.
I'm not sure what I'm witnessing right now for WYLDE, but they gotta slow down the pace a little bit because Gen.G, they are fired up and they are hitting their shots. They are looking so confident in all of these gunfights. You know, the Uvu Onslaught skin on the Monty from Elevate is fantastic, but we're not seeing any of it in the server because he's like second last alive and everyone is dying around him. I mean, look at Evan. Literally last alive because Bumsy's injured. Unlucky. Claps, claps, claps.
Another weird round, but for Gen.G, you'd love to see it. I mean, this team, like we said, has struggled a little bit, and then they got picked up by this beautiful, amazing, huge organization. I mean, what a boost that was, getting the Gen.G name to be on your jersey. But that comes with a lot of expectation as well. Like, do you remember what it was like when you went from representing Penta to representing G2 Esports?
Oh yeah, I got like doubled my salary. It was great. It was great.
But what did it do to like the mental game of putting that pressure on playing all your matches? Surely that would have had a bit
undefeated at Paris Major, 3-0 grand final. It was great. You know, it's one of those. Obviously, we really
wasn't
wanted
your first debut with G2, wasn't it Atlantic City, where you guys lost?
No. We joined G2 a week before traveling to Paris, and when we first arrived for rehearsal day, they still had the Penta logos on all the graphics. And we had to be like, you need to change this right now. And we had to find them like the right G2 logo and all that kind of stuff. It was a bit of a disaster, but they fixed it. Ubisoft closed up massive in the end. But it's a bit of concern from G2's side that they wouldn't get the right exposure. There was pressure to perform for sure, but given how smooth sailing Paris was, I think 1 or 2 days into the event, we're like, yeah guys, G2 just got the craziest steal of Russell in history of the game, because we're about to win this major.
Now, Gen.G, I mean, they got picked up by this big org, and then they came 5th in stage 1, which, to be fair, was a bit of a glow-up compared to how they were looking before the organization. Oh, when they were representing, it was ENCE, right?
Say with more conviction, more confidence.
It was ENCE.
Yes. There we go.
It was ENCE.
It was ENCE.
There we go. It was ENCE.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a short story there. Ins dipped out after dipping their toes back in after a bit of a hiatus. Garen dips his toes in
Another
the
early
build. Yeah, this time favoring Wild though.
I know we're spending a lot of time getting distracted in these rounds, but that doesn't detract from the fact that these teams are very pacey. Another engagement. It's a bloodbath on the server. Gen.G to stand up with 2 players remaining, but Deadshot, my god, he's already turned up today. Tim and Nako now 2v3.
Gotta use the Monty right now, get the information game going, and try and go for a plan. Don't. I mean, there's so much time to work with, right? Just either clear top floor fully or walk downstairs and hold the vert. They got the little thing, they know where he is. Gonna fall back.
So the Monty pushes them back. But what are Wild able to do with this ground that they've taken? When are they going to form up for a plan? The time is ticking. Thankfully, they have a little bit in the bank. Ooh, what is that? Nitro Cell. Here comes the Rotero. The Nitro really just prevents the Monty from pushing forward. Yeah, but it's not going to kill him, and he's not going to be able to pick it back up.
I was going to say, if you pick it back up, I would have been a big fan of this play, but he doesn't. Is he alone on the bomb site right now? Yeah, both his fellow teammates are up above on the verticality. So they can lock down this door, lock down their... There's actually no bomb site rotator exactly. They find one, the last one under fire, gets shut down as well. The Monty gives the information. Great job there of Evan leading his teammates into the bomb site. Gen.G, I feel like, are gonna win or lose these rounds on the individual gunfight engagements because they want those fights as much as possible, but this time WYLDE got the opening kill.
Here come the final operator bans of the half as WYLDE finally find a reply. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. The Warden as well. Gen.G continue, or rather WYLDE continue their form of banning out these unusual defenders rather than going for the normal, you know, hard breach, denial. They're going, or mirror, you know, Azami. Every one of these operators on the defense that WYLDE are banning is for a very specific purpose.
I really like this though. Like the second they ban the Warden, they insta hop on Blitz and the Glass, and they're just gonna abuse the fact that, you know, they can ban the Monty, you'll play other stuff that's annoying, or they can ban, let's say, the Glass, but the Monty stays open. They put themselves in a spot on the attacking side where they can just play these really annoying operators that are a bit cheesy. Plus, they ban the Smoke, which kind of deals with all of those issues because it stops the push, denies plant, and has a very big area of effect, as you mentioned earlier, where Sashan gets a bit more pixel-perfect lineups. So I expect WYLDE to just abuse these power operators like the Blitz, Capital, Glass for the last 2 attacking rounds.
If I can afford the luxury to zoom out a little bit, thank you. In stage 1, obviously we have a 10-team league here in EML. Only top 6 make it to playoffs.
True.
So the top 4 from that, of course, after the playoffs in stage 2 will go to the major in Munich. In stage 1, Gen.G just scraped into playoffs in 6th place. And WYLDE, they were in 7th place. They just missed out. And the matchup between these two teams, it was incredibly close. It was an 8-7 in favor of Gen.G. Part of the reason why Gen.G ended up making it to playoffs over WYLDE. So this is a big opportunity for WYLDE, who are looking better than in stage 1, to get that revenge and hopefully a leg up over the team that they likely saw as stealing their playoff spot in stage 1.
Gotta respect the fire right now if you're Evan. When you are a shield, the fire from Tashanka or Goyo will actually shield guard break you when it hits you, so you can be, not only do you take a bit of tick damage on your toes, but you can also be exposed to a lot of gunfire potential there and just outright die. Smoke goes out, blocked downstairs, a lot of different pressure is being applied right now, and a nice opening onto Tashanka, the biggest, most important operator, for plan denial and shield counter. This will open up the door even more for WYLDE to keep abusing the Glass.
And even if that was all the value that the Glass got, it would have been worth it, but still, there are 3 more smokes remaining as Boomsy tosses out his second and still has some. It's an awkward angle here. The smoke doesn't fully cover the line of sight, so Boomsy takes a bit of damage. The rest of the team is still fighting tooth and nail for it. The Blitz taken low, but still alive, as the Azami is trying to keep the Glaz at bay, and Deadshot successfully focuses that one-on-one up against the Blitz.
That means the smokes are gone. Evan had 2 smokes literally in pocket of the blitz. It doesn't go used. They're not really helping each other right now. And with that, they're locked in the hallways. Gen.G retake the spot, and now without the blitz and smoke grenades, I don't think they can afford to try again. So 50 seconds left, diffuser on the ground next to the defenders. It's time for plan B, which is fan out, go for kills, create chaos, and disrupt the bomb site somewhere else.
I might have the backstab. There's no one watching.
Oh,
There's no one watching at all. The Elemine still hasn't revealed his position though. Deadshot has been massively impactful, and turns out Garen was spotted after all. Nako takes him down. Well, up to Mats. I'll tell you what, Deadshot has been unbelievable today. He knows when he needs to make a play, and on the Azami, he did that, isolating the blitz, removing the Glaz from contention. And now he's hungry for the last kill as well. Deadshot locks it in. Big round for Gen.G.
It's one of those rounds where I'm always like, oh man, what could have been? It had so much more to give us from the entertainment value, I feel like. And it comes down to just one single missed smoke grenade, a blitz getting pushed out by impact grenades, and then that's really the entire win condition from WYLDE that's done and dusted. WYLDE have a very clear vision in these rounds. It's a little bit linear and it relies on 2 operators, but I do think it really could and should be working. It just didn't in that round. There's some small errors being made by the individual players. But you're right, Gen.G, Deadshot looking really sharp, looking good. The timings of which Gen.G they accelerate in the servers, they go, guys, this right here is our opportunity to get aggressive, because this moment is going to be the only chance we're going to have before things are going to get worse. They've been so good at picking their time and their place for these fights. It's a 3-1 lead, going through all those bomb sites, now going back to basement for a second attempt.
Hold secured.
The way this has panned out so far, I'm struggling to have as much faith in WYLDE as I wanted to, Nick. Gen.G have looked good today, and really, for me, a lot of that comes down to Deadshot. It wasn't just in that round, but there have been other moments, and look, we did have a technical pause, which makes it a bit harder to remember how every round played out, but there have been a few moments where I've just seen Deadshot take matters into his own hands.
Yeah.
He's often playing this Azami. There was one round where he was on the Wamai. I think it was mostly the Azami, though, where he was... Oh, it was actually on the basement, wasn't it? He got aggressive.
Yeah.
Out of this position, hunted down that Monty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been so good. 6-1, by the way.
Yeah, I'm curious on WYLDE's approach. I mean, they instantly went back off the glass and said, okay, that Warden ban not gonna get fully utilized, but right now it's just about getting a second attack amount on the board. I think a 2-4 half would be quite alright for WYLDE. But they gotta work for it. It's not gonna come easy and it's not gonna come for free. You see Gen.G right now standing their ground. A lot of teams don't dabble much into Garage, but Gen.G they want something here because they got the comfortability of information from the Fenrir. They know only one person's inside the door, one's by the breach, so they're matching the numbers 2-2, and now they're gonna try going elsewhere and seek a fight somewhere else on the map.
Oh, speaking of, Mats early in, locks out Deadshot. No more is that impact player going to have an instrumental effect on this round. Nako as well. He is going to escape for now. Regroup with Azox. Reposition a Fenrir mine as well. WYLDE should be able to focus up here though. I don't think they need to hard clear that mirror position. They can get to work on a lot of the important vert above this site regardless.
I don't think they have time for it. Half hour is spent already. They haven't joined the portion of the first floor, so it's gonna be a half clear. Garage, a little bit of vert, which now means it all kind of comes down to Evan and the guns behind him to get the push going. If they cannot succeed at getting in towards the bomb site, that means they can't get down the diffuser, they can't win the round. So this has to look at Asa. He's going for a big red plate. He's got backup.
Oh, no way! If he finds more than one, it could be massive! What a flick from Sneak! He finds both of them! And only the blitz falls, and is well worth it by WYLDE. Azox and Nako now have to pick up the pieces. Azox still off site, by the way, so Nako, low HP, is alone here. And Azox has been spotted on the vert. Nako's the last one. In a 1v4, 40 seconds. There's absolutely no shot in hell he lands this. Mats goes down. 1v3. Sneak forcing that plan. The cover is good from WYLDE. As Nako slowly makes his way forward, bit of damage done, but Sneak, not only can he plant, but he can find the final pick. WYLDE, another attack round. One more remaining in the half. A sigh of relief from Evan.
Yeah.
Job's not done yet. The half is still very much on the cards for Wild.
I feel like that should have been a Gen.G round, but I mean, a fraction of a second of missed timing on the rat play, that should have been, in my book, both the attackers dying and maybe no defenders dying at all, but it's completely flipped upside down. It was good. Asa was ratting, got the angle, Skies, which is over, but Sneak hits one, flicks the second, only Blitz dies, and they just use that momentum to say, guys, let's keep pushing forward, hit the bomb side with no one guys above flanking us. They lock down all the angles, big smiles, they get that important second round, and now Wild can even fight for a 3-3 half.
3-1 down to a potential 3-3 is big here for Wild. Earlier today, we saw a game. I'm not alive with me. I cannot remember which one it was.
Okay.
You know what? I'll be professional. I will check. It was Matchco Wolves. That was like all defense.
Yes.
I think it was 10 rounds of defense to 2 rounds of attack, 1 in regulation. Compared to Falcons VP, I mean, well, that was a one-sided affair. That was on Lair as well. But, you know, so a lot more attack success. This does feel pretty even. If Wild go 3-3 here, I feel like they've won the half, but only barely.
I think if they go 3-3, I think they've actually won the half somewhat confidently. Like, given how it started, going down 0-2, having to problem solve around that, stay in it mentally and everything else. I think they did a really great job in getting back into this one. And they've had some tough rounds, because Gen.G are just so good right now, mechanically speaking. And they've done different paces, right? Wild been going fast for rushes, direct takes, half takes, full clears. And yes, they've stumbled on occasion, but they're still showing grit, they're still showing confidence, and I think that means that they're having a really good time this half if they can get that third round. If they only get the 2-4, it's still like meeting expectations. But look at this Gen.G, the classic for them. Hard holding positions that normally teams they give up somewhat for free. Playing by the staircase of green, C4 out the window, and a flank below.
Yeah.
No, I don't know what's happening.
I know what Boomsy was doing. I mean, he tried to lurk his way up, but he died.
Looking the wrong way.
He's got to be careful. Yeah, Garen is watching at least. It's a trade attempt, but Deadshot goes down as well. That's big from Garen. That has flipped the switch here. Wild in control. Gen.G don't have a lot of legs left. I think, what, 3 players on that top floor.
Yeah.
Bombside is not on that top floor, remember, but of course, as we know, that's where you can deny the plant from. Wild, the question is, are they going to try and brute force the side with their numbers advantage, or are they going to try and take top floor? Because they're running out of time to do the latter.
Feels a little bit like Gen.G was just overcommitting. Maybe it's the fight downstairs. 2 people dying from outside the building after getting the initial opening pick. Never feels good. The round isn't quite over yet. If they go for a smoke plant play with the Blitz shield, the Solis above can figure out where the plant is going down. The good news for Wild is there is no C4 to counter. There is no Toxic Babes on Shanka. There's only gonna be guns. And shooting through a smoke grenade onto a shield-covered operator can be tricky, so they're gonna try and go for it. Yeah, good coverage.
Solus knows about it, but you're right. The coverage of the shield is going to be enough. Doesn't matter. There's a Solus in play, especially not when Mats is swinging from upstairs. Sneak will find the final one. It's a great read from Wild to close out that half.
Really, really confidence-inspiring round right there. I mean, again, yes, they go for the shield play in the smoke, but they still send in Mats above just for good measure. And that's something that we didn't see from the Wolves Matchco game earlier, right? They were trying to force a plant with 3 people just looking at the shield trying to get down the diffuser, no one attacking above, and the bomb doesn't go down, and now you're just standing there and you're thinking, guys, we're not winning this one. So I love the fact that Wild are never thinking that they're winning the round until they actually have. They still full commit and do everything that they possibly could and not just hoping that things work out. 3-3 half, very impressive, I would say, from the attacks of Wild. Operator bands, Ying and Glass, so very execution heavy. Wild would know exactly what that feels like because they too try to play that style of siege. And Gen.G want to simplify the breaching process by taking care of the Electro Bros of Kaid and the Bandit.
Look, poor Electro Bros aren't getting a lot of game time these days, are
They're
they?
getting like none today, James, in EML. I think, is it one game maybe when they went unbanned? It's been almost every game.
We had one with some nice juggling of the Bandit on the top floor up here, but I feel like I've barely seen any Kaid, a tiny bit of Bandit. I mean, Bandit was played 2 rounds in that first half, didn't have an impact.
Yeah. It's been a lot.
Wild Wild have really set the tempo with that last round, I feel. I mean, that is a hard bomb site to attack. They played it well, they read it well, they lost the opening pick and still fought back. Gen.G are on thin ice. They started up 3-1, they've let that lead slip, and now they're on the more challenging side on the attack.
10 seconds left before
I think it's very kind of mad to start this round on half health, just to give Gen.G a bit of shot at win the attacking rounds, you know?
How did that even happen?
Gas pipe? It has to be the only explanation, right?
Defuse it.
Yeah, you can't take team damage.
Yeah, you also cannot take gas fire damage from a gas pipe if your teammate shoots it either, only if you shoot
Only if
yourself.
it's yourself, yeah.
So it must have been Matt shooting it in the back hole. That's my best guess. Like right here, this pit, right? Yeah, there's a barbed wire on it, so it must have been this one right here. He probably shot the fire, put down the barbed wire, and then took partial damage or something. I don't know. But it's very sweet of him. Not fun at all.
Oh, well. Generous to Gen.G, for sure. Now let's see, how...
You go first, sorry.
I was gonna say, how are Gen.G gonna do this? Like, they've got double hard breach, which is a rare sight these days.
True.
So what, are they gonna go for an execute from the breach? Because no one is planting here these days. No one is really leveraging this breach much anymore.
So, the double hard breach does give them the ability to go for any attack. Front, back, mixture of both. They can get main breach, then go upstream, breach the wall for the hallway, then go for a backside. I think it gives you just backup plan essentially. And also if you just need more claymores, now Grim can get off the hard breach canisters, the secondary hard breach, play the claymores instead. So not sure just yet, but I think Gen.G right now are keeping their cards very open. What I'm not seeing though, because they're playing double hard breach, is they don't have any execute really. Like they have the Grim Beast red pinging, sure, but there's no shield. Glass and Ying are both banned away, and they also don't have like, let's say, a Dokkaebi or a Lion, where it's like a 3-2-1. Let's do something about this right now. They also don't have much of a counter for towards the clash, only the capture fire arrows. So it feels like to me that Gen.G are gonna have a bit of a struggle right now to dealing with the various problems in front of them, and again relying maybe a bit too much on gun skill to get the kills for them.
The Grim Capital's all they got.
Sequential breaching activated.
But hard breach certainly helps. The more angles you open, the more likely you're not going to be taking a 1v1 fight, the more likely you'll have a crossfire. And now, not only have they breached the external wall, they've breached the hallway cutoff, and now they're breaching our 6th room. The one thing that is missing is the default plant spot here into Mask, which he actually doesn't have any Salmas remaining for.
Yeah, that was a thermal charge hit, which is impossible, right?
Yeah, no, it's not going to be possible. So it does give Garen a lot more flexibility to play aggressively in Mask Room because he only has to worry about the breach.
Flashbang comes out, doing 2 players in the hallway. This is Gen.G saying 3, 2, 1. Let's hit them together, boys.
Oh, beautiful one tap. The flashbang's not great though. Gen.G start to collapse on the side. And Wild, I'm sure they can withstand it. Garen gets deleted. Sneak has to run through the fire, right past the Clash's shield. It does nothing for him.
Jesus.
A flawless round for the French as they finally get back in the lead.
I feel like this is one of those rounds where, yeah, Gen.G, they are relying a little bit too much on their gun skill, but oh my, does it pay off. I mean, they were hitting some ridiculous shots, they had good timings, and they actually knew where pretty much every single defender was when it came time for the execute, because they were not checking random corners, they were checking the exact coordinates of where WYLDE they were playing from. It's flawless, it's beautiful, it's way too easy on paper, because that should have been much more difficult.
WYLDE, they got to be asking themselves a few questions after that. They were like, damn, we thought attacking was really hard. We're pretty proud of ourselves for finding those 2 at the end of the half. Gen.G made it look easy, and I tell you what, a couple of shots like that from Asa, and this isn't going to be a long game.
I always admire people that can hit shots like Asa. Like you do like the lean, jiggle, unjiggle, and like a pixel angle, one tap. I haven't hit a single one of those in my entire life because I can't lean for the life of me. The way I hold my keyboard is too scuffed, you know? So, watching mechanical players do stuff like that,
5 seconds to go.
I feel like they're playing a whole different game than I am. And it bothers me a little bit, but I also admire it really, really much.
I only know how to outdo myself.
And then there's you, who flipped the Q&E leaning button.
Look, I just like to be extra edgy, man.
Yeah, you are. Like, who makes the left lean E and the right lean Q just for the sake of being
Genuinely,
edgy?
I was just curious because, like, you know, like I told you before, noted the Brazilian YouTuber pro player did it. And so I was like, yeah, that's cool. And he was like, you know, he was Sharko before Sharko was Sharko. Like, he was one of those guys that was like pioneering the new piece.
No. He was not Sharko before Sharko was Sharko.
All right, he was one of those guys.
Players and putting the title he's beating pro players. But he did have nice tricks.
Bro. He was one of those guys that was like, you know how like Bolo had his peak, and then there was the Hashon peak and stuff like that. Like there was kind of noted had his thing as well, right?
Okay.
What the hell's going on with Sneak and Deadshot, by the way? Well, I guess it's just aggression here on the stairs.
Lol.
A lol comes out from the stairs. Sure. Would have loved to see it, but never mind. Yeah. Who cares, man? Who cares about people who play weird settings? You know, modern day pro that plays with a weird setting that I still think is incredible is Reaps with his like 1800 DPI sensitivity. That is balmy.
That's true. He does use very little mousepad space, but does a good job at getting all those kills regardless somehow. And it doesn't look shaky either. Normally like high sense players that look like they're shaking sometimes when they're playing, but he looks so sharp like a low sense kind of player. WYLDE got over and killed to the Grim. Pretty important utility operator. Let's info now for the attack. Kind of curious if they're gonna try and go for a default well. The grenade is gonna roll away. Imagine if you could cook your grenades, then you could cook it and then throw it and blow the castle barricade.
Imagine if you could have previs that would tell you where the grenade was gonna go. Oh, he's so dead. How is this guy's not dead? There's a guy right behind him. There's a guy behind him the whole time. What? What's going on?
Baby.
Oh,
how is this working?
Okay, well, somehow he's getting it done. He's found a kill. And staked his claim on the bomb site. The Clash is going to set down the shield. That's going to guard break Skies. In comes Garen from behind, but Asta claims his life. And Skies sets his sights on the next one. This is a very awkward defense for WYLDE. Gen.G continue rolling in. They don't have a safe plant position as of yet. Boomsy on that Clash is still alive. Mats is still here, and he does find one before he's traded back. That still keeps Gen.G ahead of the curve. Evan and Boomsy try and stand tall, but there's no safe haven for Evan. The plant needs to come down. Can Boomsy clutch up here? Plant being forced. Nako has to cover. It's a 1v1. The plant isn't going to go down. Is Boomsy going to win it? Asta has been untouchable.
Entry, run down through the smoke, help the Blackbeard, clear the shield, walk in, plant, your cover dies, so it's all up to you to get one more thing done in that round, which is win the entire round for your team. Asa is on a heater right now, but the entirety of Gen.G, they're all playing that kind of game. They are just running over WYLDE on a pretty much direct attack downstairs from lockers, and I really want to praise the utilization of the Blackbeard walking in, giving information. And it was a good 20 seconds where Blackbeard and Castle, they were dancing 1 versus 1, and then the countdown came. Blackbeard goes, I'm going to ADS in 3, 2, 1, swing with me. And two things can happen. Either Castle will look at the Blackbeard and get that kill but die to the second player trading, or you flip it. There is no world where Castle gets both kills and survives. So Gen.G's ability to make a really complicated situation very simple, again, with good communication, good teamwork, and insane mechanical skill, is just being such a good, reliable factor for them. It's ridiculous how they're doing this. Such good play.
It's moments like... Yeah, well... Yeah, Skies knew his role there on the Blackbeard, and even though he ended up dying, he timed it so he only took that fight when his teammate was there to trade it. And I tell you what, Asa has been unreal. Gnarly one-tap on the top floor site. A 3K that round, a 3K in the opening round of this game, if you can wind your mind all the way back to that first round. He was playing the sentry on their defenses. Yeah. Ended up with a flawless round. He got re-aggressive. Pretty much single-handedly won for Gen.G. Now, they've come away after the first half and found 2 attack rounds in a row.
10 seconds
We
left
both backed in WYLDE coming into this game, Pink.
Yeah, but I didn't think Evan would go 0-5. That's my defense. I'm just gonna drag down Evan with me, you know? Like, you ruined my predictions.
Poor guys catching stress.
Nah, Evan's playing shields on all the attacker rounds, and he's playing hard support and defense as well. And I was gonna make a reference about how there's like a new generation Siege and old generation Siege. While they're playing Plant Denial, Maestro, Information, deployable shields, Gen.G, they have guns, okay? They have 5 guns, and they're just winning. And it must feel so demoralizing for WYLDE because on paper they are playing good Siege, they're playing good rounds with decent setups, but they can't hold their own individually against Gen.G, and they're also getting out teamwork by them.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, you know, despite Gen.G being pretty low on the standings, right? Let's not forget,
True.
They have 2 players in the top 10 of EML, right?
Yeah.
Azox, who's 3rd place, 118 EPS. Hazza, who's 7th place, 112 EPS. And I think those stats are only going to get buffed up again after this game, especially for Asa. Azox being a little bit quieter today, not that it matters.
Good
For WYLDE, yeah. Good value for Gen.G. Of course, WYLDE seeing their setup slowly but surely pulled away. Garen's now out of impacts, can't continue juggling that, but thankfully there's no more Selmas for Nako. Asa could come over with an exothermic if he thinks it's safe.
Yeah, I'm not sure about breaching that wall. Maybe with some smoke grenades to cover, or if they get rocket stairs control. Sky's Twitch so far has been getting so much value with the mute jammers, the mirror window. I think he was checking for any sort of coverage like ADS or MI, but there aren't any. They're not being played this round. They're gonna kill the staircase location because of that Demo Striker. They're gonna swap spots now. Sneak takes the spot instead. And this is the thing, they want hallway control to enable the thermite most likely, so they're gonna try and go for a kill.
Skies knows about it, and now he's smoked off this angle. In theory, he could push up the hallway. Puts a lot of extra pressure on Sneak because he's got to cover 2 different angles at once. And here comes the execute Skies. DMR in hand makes his way up. Boomsy falls on the stairs, and Skies wins his one as well. Gen.G collapsing, but Evan will stand tall. First frag of the game for him, and not a moment too soon. Mats is on for this flank as well. He's got a yellow pink shotgun, comes out. He's seen, but he still finds the kill onto Azox. 3v3 as we restabilize, but Gen.G, they've got the numbers advantage on site. They could send it right here.
They're gonna have to, but Garen strikes first. Everyone a second as well. A big one. Only 1 player remaining for Naku now in Gen.G. He's gonna go for a swing, but the crossfire is there once more. Through the rotate, all the way through the bomb site from the very beginning, where that round started off. Asami on the breach, locks it down and confirms it. It's a bit of a back and forth in that one. I feel like Gen.G had, again, such good ability to problem solve, but then 1 deployable shield and you sprinting down the hallway up against it. That means there is no chance in hell you're gonna win that gunfight. And that really stunted Gen.G's push.
I tell you what, the WYLDE really had to work for that round. It was not gifted to them by any stretch. It was hard. And they're still trailing behind. You know, 1 more round for Gen.G. That's match point. That's WYLDE losing points. And WYLDE need all the points they can get to make it to the playoffs. Like we said before, it's been a tough stage for WYLDE, even though they have had good results. They're 2 wins, 1 loss in all of those in overtime, 1 loss in regulation. But because WYLDE's games, 3 out of 4, have gone to overtime, there's less of an opportunity to find the full points that they need. You compare that to Gen.G, their 2 wins were both in regulation. That's why they're in 5th place and WYLDE is down in 8th.
That's a very big hole in the wall. And very interesting shape as well. He didn't clear the whole wall, he left the corner. Look.
He wants some coverage so that he can be safe, but at a distance he can still toss Util over the bit above, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I wonder what the lineup is for him. Like, where's the Tachanka going to be playing? And because the Tachanka, that can go hella far. Like, it's got a lot of range.
Yeah, you just play on the
very far
right-hand side, and you just shoot all the way through, and it can hit the default plant spot. That's the theory, at least. And it all sounds good in practice, but we see this go wrong all the time. I mean, half the rounds here, probably more than half, Gen.G will either die before they get to the bomb site, or they will just overrun them, and the plant isn't necessarily needed, but it will happen anyway, because like 1v4 and stuff like that. So I don't know about this Tachanka Maestro situation for WYLDE. I feel like I like the idea, I like the concept, you know, all that stuff. But in reality, it doesn't seem like it's been effective against Gen.G's playstyle. I feel like playing trap operators like this in Fenrir, Ella, maybe Elysian for the Windows would be a bit more beneficial. But I'm also happy to prove it wrong just because it might just work.
Reloading.
And like you said before, basically, while they're trying to play this like slower, more methodical siege, you're trying to play plant denial operators like your Maestro and your Tachenka. What, you think Gen.G are just going for static plants? No, they're going
exactly.
deep. Remember the last time they attacked this bomb site, they were getting up in the face with the Blackbeard, they were looking for frags. They only tried the plant once it was a 3v1. So I think Wild might not have the right read for how Gen.G are attacking.
See, if only you could sledge the floor a little bit faster with little buffs to sledge, right? It would be a feels good, man. I would love that. He feels so weak these days. It just feels like a little bit of power creep, you know? You look at sledge versus Bonk versus Ram, and it doesn't feel entirely fair. Not fair for Wild either. They start the round 4v5 as Mats dies on the castle, but no active util goes lost. The only issue now with Clash, Maestro, and Tachenka, those are 3 operators that prefer to use a gadget over their gun. So there's less angles to watch. This guy is just clip farming, man. He just walks in, and without even walking in the bomb site door, he gets 2 kills. It's too easy. Come on.
Yeah. Wild are so unaware of all these angles. They didn't put enough pressure on Gen.G. They let them take so much control. Oh, Boomsy needs this. Now he's going to come through, take his shield away. So he has to fall back. Wild, there are fewer and fewer places on the bomb site where they can safely play. Gen.G are tightening the net. Sneak will fall to a long angle. Garen's got to get big here with the WYLDE. Finds a big headshot onto Asa. That's the most deadly player going down. Skies and Neko both on the floor. Makes this a glorified 2v2.
That does. A revive can come through though. Maybe trade on both sides. Defenders get the rest off. Attackers do not. Diffuser is down right behind Deadshot. I saw a silhouette. There's a player lurking in. Oh, he gets shot down.
Oh,
the
no.
cover is good.
How?
Oh, the cover is
How? Good. Deadshots! He tried going for the revive. He changed his mind twice.
Baited.
Gen.G, they focused up. They baited him in. They played it so much better. And thanks to that, Nick, that's the match point they've been waiting for.
All right, James, let's have a little bit of a quiz here, yeah? How many Tachenka Shumika launcher fire canisters did you see that got good value in that round? Roughly.
0.
Okay. How long... Oh, okay, no, different way of asking the question. How much value do you feel like the Clash Shield got in that round?
None.
And how many times did Maestro go in the Evil Eye to stab a player, a drone, or deny a plant?
Not once.
Yeah, this is exactly what I feared. Because, yeah, the Evil Eyes are nice for red pinging, but the red pings only give you information to make the right decisions. It doesn't give you better gunfight capabilities, doesn't give you crossfires, it doesn't help you when you don't know where the angles are. So Skies just walks in and kills 2 players before the round really even starts. It really does feel like the wrong operators to the play style of Gen.G. Not for the map, not the bomb side. And I think Wild style, they love those operators and it works for them usually. But you need to look at the game in front of you right now. And that is not the solution to how to counter Gen.G.
Yeah, that's the thing, like, you need to slow down Gen.G. How early was it that Skies was ready at the edge of the bomb side, finding 1 kill and pushing for a second, with the Tachenka just on a long angle, not realizing he's exposed. If you had Fenrir, if you had traps, then Gen.G wouldn't be allowed to do that. So when are Wild gonna realize that's the problem? Well, not yet, clearly, because the Fenrir still hasn't been picked. No Ella, which we've seen a lot of from other teams, which would also be nice against the Blackbeard with both the Grismots and the impact grenades. It's a risky pick for Wild. I'm not sure they've read Gen.G well.
Yeah, just think out how Gen.G were defending basement, for example, right? They were holding garage because that Fenrir mine is pre-placed in the walk-ins, and they can just hold onto this ground that most defenders don't bother fighting for. For Wild, it's a different story. Right now, they're taking a gunfight, just 50-50 with Sneak. That's good. You know, confidence, keep that up. Apply some map pressure. And I don't hate the idea that there's no trap operators on this tertiary bomb site because I'm more about the verticality and plant denial. So here, I like the Warden, I like the Solus. It's going to be more about the side itself later on. A timer is ticking down. Oh, he actually saved himself with the keep, only to then not sprint all the way to the bomb site door and then die anyway.
They're gonna swing again. Yeah. I think Gen.G, their patience is proving to be a virtue.
Yeah.
Kill found just by holding that window. Now Wild, they're gonna get antsy here. Like, players dying left, right, and center, feeling that pressure, feeling like Gen.G are in the advantage. They're gonna overswing here, and you can see Gen.G, that's what they're expecting. They're just sitting back, relaxing, and they're gonna find another kill. How is Deadshot allowed to find another kill from outside of the building? This is on Wild completely. The Sense Wall comes out, a player on the third spot, and Boomsy takes a hell of a lot of damage. That means he's distracted, he's not denying the plan. He's looking, but he's got no idea where the plan might be. Asa takes a little bit of damage, but it's far too late. This is going to be the end of the line for Wild. In stage 1, it was an overtime. In stage 2, Gen.G are clearly the better competitor. Wild now looking to retake nades from Nako. Look at this, it's a double back from Mats. Him and Boomsy together team up, but guess who is still waiting? It's Asa and Deadshot. They lie in wait for Wild to return to site, and they lap up every kill happily. It's a big win for the French, and a full 3-point day.